Hello, friends. Imagine waking up every morning, living your dream life in paradise. I went from a struggling university student to a successful adult. Following a few key principles, I built a life I love in New Zealand. Want to know my secret? In this video, I will tell you exactly how I turned my daydreams into reality. At the end of this video, you will understand 3 key steps to take, as well as what to do when things don't go to plan. As a 20-year-old living alone in California, I was struggling to survive. I couldn't pay my school fees, so I dropped out of university and took a job working for JCPenney's call center, taking phone orders for 8 hours a day in a windowless building. I was so broke that I was sleeping in my car or on couches or in the occasional seedy motel room. I got fired from my job after I decided to take the opportunity for a free holiday in New Zealand. I talked about this crazy event in a video titled, "I Got Fired, and It Was the Best Thing Ever." I'll link it in the description. Now, I'm going to go over the 3 key secrets to success, and you will want to stick around because I'm going to tell you how I overcame the worst obstacle to my dream life. The first key point that you need to succeed in life is a clear vision of what success looks like to you. For me, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be married with children and own a horse ranch. Simple. And it seems I made the right choice to give up that job and take the holiday in New Zealand because I met my husband, got married, and had 3 children. However, things weren't easy. We were living on one income, and raising children is expensive. Paying for a house, car, and food took most of our money, and there wasn't much left over for keeping horses. So now I will talk about the second key point, which is creativity. I had to get very creative and think outside the box in order to afford land and a horse. Imagination is essential in order to find solutions to the problems you encounter in life. I filled out the paperwork to qualify for a home start loan, and I managed to find a fixer-upper house that had been vandalized. The walls were smeared with cow manure and spray painted with curse words. It didn't have a working bathroom. The windows had iron nailed over them, and it wasn't even for sale. But it sat on an acre of green grass. It was perfect. We moved in right before Christmas. We painted and wallpapered and built fences and laid carpet, and thus started our journey on the real estate ladder. I was offered a free horse, but there was only one catch. It wasn't broken in, and I could not afford a trainer's fees. I believe in being resourceful and using what I have, so I read books about horse training, especially a new thing called positive reinforcement, and then, calling on all the courage I possessed, I got my husband to lead the mare around while I held on, praying I wouldn't be eating a dirt pie. God answers prayers, and I had many wonderful rides on this mare. I couldn't afford a farrier, so I learned to trim her hooves myself. This skill has not only saved me thousands of dollars over the years, but it's also a wonderful workout for my body. Now for my third key to success, but you're going to want to stay in the saddle a little longer because after this key, I'm going to tell you about the day my dream died, the lowest point in my life so far. So, my third key to success is consistency. I'm a member of the Never Giver Upper Club, which means I keep on going towards my long-term goals, even when facing short-term setbacks. The way I can do this is by writing down both long and short-term goals, writing a daily to-do list, and reviewing each day to see how close to my targets I've landed. By having written goals and looking at them once or twice a day, I constantly remind myself what is important to me and what steps I need to take to get closer to achieving a goal. I motivate myself with rewards that are meaningful to me. It might be a small thing, like giving myself a coffee after I have completed an arduous chore on the ranch. From our first home, we have moved 4 more times to the place we are currently at, which has 9 acres. My husband built me a round pen and stalls and a hay barn, and we've rescued quite a few horses and ponies. I've told the story about some of these rescues in previous videos. I've bred mares and raised numerous foals. I also started an after-school riding program called the Dreams Come True Club to provide free riding lessons for children who couldn't afford a pony of their own. Was all this easy, or did I have to make sacrifices? It was definitely hard work, but sharing my passion for horses is extremely rewarding, and I was happy, even though I did make many sacrifices in order to feed and care for my horses. Some of the things I don't do is buy new clothes or furniture or appliances or vehicles. I rarely eat out at expensive restaurants. I don't go to hair salons very often or take fancy holidays. I'm just as happy to put my hair in a ponytail, pull on my old jeans, pack my lunch, and hit the trail on my horse. Now, things seem to be going okay, except we still struggled to make ends meet, even though I was working various part-time jobs in an office or doing night shift to help cover the costs. And then everything came to a great big screaming halt. This is my lowest point, and it happened over 10 years ago. Our marriage hit the skids, and I moved out for a while. I closed down the Dreams Come True Club, and I rehomed most of the horses and ponies, keeping only my main horse Manny and my daughter's heart horse Mercy. Now this gave us enough money to dig ourselves out of the financial pit. Then I went back to school extramurally and finished my university degree, working 3 part-time jobs to pay for my education. I leaned into my courage, my faith, and my never-giver-upper mindset. Even though I didn't think it was possible, God put the pieces of our shattered marriage back together. We worked through our differences and gave our marriage another go. My dead dream came back to life. A miracle. Now, for you who are still riding along today, I am going to give you the most important lesson I learned about success during this life of good trails and difficult trails. Living a successful life is more about the journey than reaching any destination. It's about growing stronger by overcoming challenges, learning from your failures, and becoming the person you were created to be. Accept that life is going to change and evolve. Celebrate your wins and use your failures as learning tools. Have an attitude of gratitude and never, never, never give up. I hope my story inspires you. Keep imagining how fabulous your life can be. Set goals and work towards them until you turn your imagination into reality. Until next time, God bless you and happy trails.